campus?
I'm Mufti I'm a student of cultural heritage at the Bijlmeer Academy. I'm from Alkmaar, which is in the Netherlands. I'm in Amsterdam now because it's a great city and it's close to my school. So I'm glad I was able to move here. And what else should I say?
What is your first impression
Of the Bijlmeer.
of Bijlmeer?
Oh, I never realized what a lily white world I grew up in, you know? Until I arrived here in the Bijlmeer. Being, you never feel so white as when you walk through the Bijlmeer. As I'm not completely Dutch. I have some Croatian roots, so I'm not. So I'm an outsider as well, mostly. But you really know what it's like to be a minority here.
What have you learned or been taught about Bijlmeer, from the outside?
From the outside,
yeah.
It was when you talk about Bijlmeer in a small city like Alkmaar, it's very criminal, with many minorities, and in some sense this is true, but it doesn't really take in the nuances. A crime is always done by a small group. It's never everyone, and it doesn't really cover all that happens in this neighborhood.
And my third question is, so far, for how long have you been living on the campus?
How long? Almost a year now. In December it will be a year. And I've been living.
How's your feeling now? Are you feeling at home? Do you feel at home, or you still have some kind of doubt about the environment?
No. I feel really at home. If I didn't have a campus contract but could stay here after my studies, I would. Maybe I'll live here.
What are some of the things that inspire you and let you feel like, okay, this not what I expected it to be, or what I thought it would be.
Yeah. I expected to be a multitude of different cultures, and there were. So I like that. It's really like, I don't know, being around people who think differently, who do differently, who have different backgrounds, and it's interesting to experience.
You say you study in cultural heritage. Can you in your own explain what cultural heritage means?
Well, there's many definitions of cultural heritage. When we started the study, we were asked to define cultural heritage, and there were many people who had many versions. But the main defining thing, the definition we got while we were thinking of our own definitions was something, a tradition, an object that has value for a group of people is cultural heritage. It's important that it has value for a small group, a large group. It can be a family. It can be a community. It can even be a country.
And how long is this study going on? Last year, and are you taking a PhD, or is it a master's that you're taking, or is this a?
I'm on my bachelor now.
Okay.
Third year of bachelor. I have 1 year left after this one, and I'm thinking about doing a master, but that's not really sure yet.
So in short, I just want you to, because I'm focusing more on the Bijlmeer, So in a short, when you get outside and somebody, just out of nowhere say something about Bijlmeer, how would you protect and how can you challenge the perception, the negative perception about Bijlmeer being portrayed to you by somebody who has never been here? And how can you?
I would say I would try to let him or her see the nuances. It's criminal. I've seen out of my window this past year someone being robbed, and people being picked up by the police and stuff. These things happen, but I don't think they happen more than in the center of Amsterdam or any other part of Amsterdam. So it has a reputation of being violent and criminal, but it's a very beautiful place because there are a lot of activities of other cultures. Like they have a barbecue, you can get Suriname food, you can get food from all over the world in just one place. You know, it's a really special place.
Since criminality is all over and it's not only in the Bijlmeer, how do you see it? Do you think it's more based on political how to call it interpretation, or it's more profiling?
I think it's profiling because the Dutch government built this pretty far off center to build homes for the foreign people, really, the people who were immigrants and came to this country. The Bijlmeer was meant to shelter people like this, and there are, like, on the whole, there are less Dutch people living here than there are foreign people, I think.
You having a Spinoza badge on your...
Yeah.
Can you please, can you explain, can you tell me something short about Spinoza and your perception about Spinoza and why this monument here on this campus?
I'm not the one who thought of the name, so yeah, Spinoza was a philosopher who I don't really know much about, really. I can't really go into his theories because I would have to do some studying.
Okay,
but,
yeah?
Yeah, I think it's appropriate because this is a student campus and Spinoza was a student of everything. He was an eternal student, as philosophers often are. So he tried to gain knowledge all of his life, and students are trying to gain knowledge for all their lives or a short period of time. Well, whatever people choose to do.
I think I've asked you a lot of questions and you might be getting tired, and I really appreciate the time.
Yeah.
And your answers that you give me, I think it's pretty good, and I hope to see you some other time. And big shout out to you, and thank you very much for being on my camera.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, bye-bye. Bye.